I don't know that Remnant 2 or Hogwarts Legacy should be up for any Game of the Years. I mean, I've not played Remnant 2, but just I played the first one. And unless it's substantially better, I don't think I would call it like a Game of the Year type game. It's a lot of fun. And I mean, if they support it and keep on adding chapters and things like that and different factions and DLC where you can do new things with your friends and kind of keep it alive as a multiplayer game, then sure, yeah, I think they could do some cool stuff with Remnant, because Remnant plays really, really well. Or at least, again, Remnant from the Ashes, the first one. Or the second one, technically, I guess, because Chronos was the first one, but that's a melee game, so it's a kind of a different thing. Remnant from the Ashes plays a lot like, almost like Resident Evil 5, but also it's Diablo, I guess. That's probably like the best way to put it. It's a very fast, not exactly stop and pop shooter, because you're mostly running around and you're kind of taking cover. You're mostly rolling out of the way and stuff, when I know that's not a Resident Evil 5 thing, that's more of a Souls type thing. And yeah, I mean, it's a little on the Soulsy side. It's also, when people say it's Dark Souls with guns, I'm like, well, I don't think that gives it I don't think that really gives you a good description of Remnant from the Ashes, because it's much more Diablo than it is Souls at all. I'll say that right now. I almost hardly see the Souls comparison, other than the fact that there's effectively bonfires, and it's kind of tough, I guess. It's not crazy hard. You know, no, it's not, because I remember finishing it relatively quickly, and I played it totally solo as well. But yeah, Remnant, I think, though, plays really, really well, and I imagine the sequel probably plays better, but I don't know that it is doing anything from an extra. I mean, again, it's so hard talking about a game that I've not played. It's not like I heard from a lot of people that Remnant 2 just blows the first one out of the water. Like, most people I've talked to who've played it and the first one just told me, yeah, I mean, it's more Remnant. And I'm okay with that. I think that's good. But I think there also needs to be good games that we don't automatically hand a Game of the Year award to, you know? I think the Game of the Year, to me, again, I know that this is not really, it's not really supported by like the people who actually vote on Game of the Year in any big bad way, or at least for the Game Awards, because it's like a panel of mainstream video game journalists, which is it's how they can be totally based on a really good game like Sekiro that also just happened to be the most popular game amongst a bunch of the Souls people at video game magazines managed to win. And I think that maybe what's his name, Keighley, having some licensing deal of sorts with From Software might have had something to do with it too, or Bandai Namco. It wouldn't be Bandai Namco, because that's an Activision game, Sekiro. But anyways, they'll give it to Sekiro and Elden Ring, but then they'll also give it to The Last of Us Part 2. So it's like, okay, well, as much as I'd like to be, I don't know, man. Like, they gave it to Sekiro, and that's a bit of a niche game. Like, I mean, it is From Software, but also it's not exactly the kind of thing that every person who's beaten Dark Souls would be able to wrap their head around. And it won Game of the Year, so I could be like, oh yeah, wow, I mean, that's cool. But in the year that Doom Eternal and Hades came out, they gave it to The Last of Us Part 2. So, like, you know, it's like, I don't know that it's the best thing that always wins there. But I guess Hogwarts Legacy, to me, it was Harry Potter Arkham. And it kind of played exactly like a good version of that probably should. Or the closest you can get a Harry Potter game to play like Arkham City that you can possibly get it without it just seeming ridiculous. And I think they did a pretty good job on it. But I don't think that it's better than any one of the Arkham games. So it's kind of tough for me to call that a Game of the Year contender, because I'm like, well, I think the best examples of that genre have came out a long time before it, and I don't even necessarily think it's a great one. I just think it's a competent one. And I did play it. I finished it. Actually, I played all of the wizard game that people were angry about. If that's your pick, though, then that's also totally fine. Like, you don't have to pick what I would pick, but I think at this point put Liza P on the list, even with that standard, because I think this might actually be one of the best examples of this genre, which I really wasn't prepared for when I started playing it, I gotta say.